Thank you so much for taking a few moments to pray with me and to pray with us in agreement, and also to get some updates, because so many of us have been overwhelmed. We're seeing what's going on in the world. But I was reminded out of 2 Chronicles chapter 20. And in this situation where Jehoshaphat hears from God and God says, the battle is not yours, the battle is the Lord's. And that's so true. We need to hold on to that hope and promise from God. The battle is not ours, it belongs to the Lord. But here's Jehoshaphat's posture. He took a knee posture as well as a humble posture, in that he put his face towards the ground, his heart in worship and adoration towards heaven. And in that kind of attitude of praise and adoration and worship, God is doing a work in battling for us in ways we can't even do for ourselves. So if you want more information, go to our website at somebodycares.org or dougstringer.com, and you can read some of those. We continue to do our Transforming Leadership Zoom calls, as well as turn into our podcasts and YouTube as well. 3 of the most recent that were really powerful was with Dr. Roger Parrott, the president of Belhaven University, and his was on Be Opportunity Led. That was a very powerful teaching. And then Dr. David Gyertson, who's been part of leading universities and Christian universities for many, many years, his was on Lead Like Jesus. Wow, we needed to hear that. How we lead, we must lead like Jesus. And then Dr. Samuel Rodriguez is a longtime friend and the National Hispanic Christian Leadership Conference, and his was on Be Obsessed with the Love of One. It was a very powerful message. So I've gone back and listened to all of these, and we've got some new ones coming up as well that you can get from our e-blast and be a part of that. Now, recently, we attended the National Religious Broadcasters that was in Nashville, and we were able to share about the ministry on some various interviews and media interviews. And God gave us some providential divine appointments for future ministry opportunities using media globally. We are praying into these to see which ones God actually would have us to pursue. One of the ones we're looking at is working with a group out of Romania that actually broadcasts in Ukrainian and in Russian, because we need to get a message of healing and hope in the midst of such despair right now. And also, we've been responding to the Texas wildfires that you've probably seen on the news. We've sent gift cards to help displaced families. We've helped families replace their meter poles where they've lost everything. So many homes were destroyed like ash. But to get things going again on their property, they need meter poles to even have electricity to start doing things on their property. So we've sown some finances and to partner with some of our ministry friends in Eastland, Texas, and other places to be able to do these things with gift cards, resources, meter poles, etc. Please continue to pray for other opportunities as well. And of course, the ongoing Ukraine crisis. We've been partnering with a number of our organizations and partner organizations, as well as churches in Poland, Romania, Hungary, and Slovakia. And together we're able to rescue orphans and families that need to leave the Ukraine. And we've been caring for displaced women and children by providing food, shelter, and transportation. Now, when I say we are partnering with some key disaster relief partners that are doing incredible things. So we're sowing resources and sending finances, and we're sending other things to help connect the dots to bring the need to those in need. We're also been assisting Ukrainian Jews moving to Israel, and we're also sending relief supplies into Ukraine to help those who have stayed behind as well. We've provided some Somebody Cares bears to bring comfort for children coming across the border into Poland. And also, we've purchased Ukrainian audio Bibles. On those digital Bibles are also Christian children's stories and illustrated stories for children as well, to bring encouragement and hope in the midst of what they're going through. And we've also not only just received the Ukrainian Bibles and purchased them, but we're also being able to send them forth into some of our partner organizations who are distributing them to those who are fleeing from the invasion. And we're also trying to send some into the Ukraine when possible. We've received a donation of over $500,000 worth of medical supplies, and we're working to get some of those into the Eastern Europe region to help there, and some will be used in future disaster relief deployments as well. And then, of course, here in Houston, Somebody Cares is partnering with churches and ministries across the city for an evangelistic outreaches and ongoing outreaches that we have every day throughout each week. There's incredible ministries here that work together. It's that net that we call mending the net, or the net that works. It's amazing what God has been doing in the region. And then pray for my family as well, for the Stringer family. Pray for our stamina and health for all of my family. We're still going through attacks as well. And pray for every family and every staff member that we have, because they're going through spiritual attack, as I mentioned as well, and physical attacks. We need health, we need stamina to get past all these challenges and the lies of the enemy, because we know the Lord is for us, who can be against us, and we have so much to do together, and I need my team healthy spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, relationally, in every way. I pray for wisdom for myself and my team. We need the wisdom to discern what invitations to accept in the midst of the multiple global challenges that we're being pulled on. And there's so much that we want to do that we're unable to do. So pray for us to stay in our lane, to know how we can be most effective in leveraging the equity and the resources that God gives us and the relationship equities that God has given us as well. I have an incredible ministry schedule. It's amazing. I just sometimes have to stop and breathe when I look at my schedule and the ongoing meetings. I have people flying in to meet with me at my office for hours and sharing their hearts and their visions and dreams. In fact, recently I was doing another Zoom call for pastors across Vietnam via virtual video. And amazing things that God's doing there and teaching and ministering to those all over the world. It's an amazing opportunity that God has given all of us. But we need the stamina and the health. We need the wisdom to have a word in season, because how can I give what I don't have? So I've got to maintain that intentionality of staying in my posture in humility before God, staying on my knee time, at the same time a heart towards heaven in worship and adoration and praise, because I know that God is the one doing our battle. But we also have to be good stewards of what God has given to us. That's why every day I pray, Lord, I thank you for the joy of your salvation and the privilege of your calling. It is a privilege. It's an honor. But I want to be a good steward. All my team wants to be good stewards. And we thank you for joining and partnering with us. God bless you. Remember, 2 Chronicles 20, the Lord is doing battle for us. The battle is not ours. But may we keep a posture of humility, our hearts in worship and adoration and praise towards heaven. Watch what God will do.